Good morning, viewer. This is Dr. Najeeb Ahmad Rumi from London, and you may well aware of about my talks, and it's not a lecture, but it's a talk sharing of thoughts. So, as you have introduced it, it is in my descriptions that Dr. Najeeb Ahmad Rumi, a public health specialist and mind well-being cognitive behavioral therapist based in London. Today, our topic is food for uh, for our thought and food for body, based on my therapy, which is neuro narrative therapy. I will explain what is in a very simple way. I will explain. Don't get confused because it's not something rocket science or some difficult things. No, I will explain what the exactly meaning, which is scientifically based, approach is, and I try my level best to share these thoughts, these talks, although the medias, social network medias, and Google's, all of these devices are helpful. There are, of course, merits and demerits of everything, but how to perceive things in a constructive way. But perception is only worth it. This is a very important thing. It is only worth it when you apply in your life. As for instance, lots of good stuff about health is there. But when you apply whether this approach is practicable, valid or not, like as for instance, uh, if you see the labels on food materials, there are labels that the, what is the contents of this product is, and their calories, how much kilocalories are there, and saturated food stuff. You can have a look, but processed food it is not a good food as compared to fresh food available. And processed food, it is manufactured in the factories. But be careful about having this processed food. So, a very simple way is to wisdom is all about when you apply in your life. It's beyond your knowledge. It's beyond your experiences. It's beyond your anything else, but it's all about how you are going to apply in your daily life. Like when you look at a cigarette, you know, packet, there is lots of scary things are there, this cancers and stuff like that. Even then, people know that it's harmful. Smoking is injurious to your health. We don't care. We just look into it and then just we turn our eyes blind. So this is the implications. This is the reasoning uh, behind your mind. So we have to think about it, and then we have to act. So what is beneficial for you, and what is non-beneficial for you? What is harmful for you? What is you know, it's dangerous for you, then you have to apply those things in your life. So today I'm coming to my topic, which is mm, in a very simple way that it's a basic narrative. What is that narrative? Is that we are what we eat, and we are what we think. There are two, uh, you know, food types of foods. You can say in a very simple way: food for our body, which is essential for all of us to survive, healthy food, sufficient food, and food for our thought. These two kinds of food are essential for human being. But for what about other species like animals? They need only food for their body. They don't have food for their thought. They are unable to go deep into that wisdom. Although there are in our unconscious mind, there is a biological need, fight and flight ideation, that when there is a danger we fly and or fight. But the wisdom, thinking process, creativity is inherent into into the human beings. So we are, all of the human beings, we are spiritual beings. What is that soul into our body is that we are spiritual being. And I always mention that there is a fine line between sanity and insanity, between good and bad. So then what is that fine delicated line? Then either we are on this side or we are on the wrong side. So we have to mind that line. We have to think, what is that line? When we cross, we become animal. When we remain in our limits, start thinking in a positive and constructive way, then we can be a spiritual being. We can be a good human being. We can prove, not for the sake of any loss or profit, not the sake of any although because we are living here, we are working for survival and stuff like that. But one thing which is very important is how to behave, how to think, how to eat. This is because animals, even animals, they when they fill up their stomach and they then they just run away. Then that's enough for live. This is animal instinct. But human instinct is that we have to eat well, and then in a scientifically way. So in first part we will discuss about we are what we eat, and we are what we think. Other part in the same lectures. So we are all well aware of the notion that the human body needs a balanced food. What is that balanced food? If we start from oxygen, because our body is it's like a food. Water is like drinking water. Is a survival strategy for human being, like oxygen, water, and then sufficient balanced food. for our body to survive. So we are, as uh, you can see in my description of this talk, I have written that we are what we eat. What does it mean that we, if we eat healthy, we look healthy, active, and it will reflect in our body. It will reflect in our thoughts. It will reflect in our face. It will reflect from our head to toe that we are active. We don't have any ailment, although there are various ailments, but it's if it is associated, if it is linked with your unhealthy eating, what are those ailment and disease? Number one is fat, obesity. If you eat unhealthy, then it will reflect that we are what we eat. If we eat healthy, we look healthy, happy. If we eat unhealthy, imbalanced diet, junk food, all the time we are just having and consuming, because food appetite is directly linked to our dopamine secretion. When we eat uh, unhealthy food, then it's our dopamine secretion a bit level increased, and we feel happy, because that is happy hormones in our mind, rewarding hormone. So when our reflexes are directly, connected with that notion that mm, we are hungry, and that is biological need. Sorry, that is not biological need, that is psychological needs. It's here. We start cramming, we start, feeling low, we start thinking that, oh, my blood pressure is going low, blood sugar level will go down. So, but it's the scientific methods and the research shows, because it's not for all of, if you have some medical condition, of course, then you have to discuss with your doctor. I'm talking about healthy persons who are all the time, who are, in leading a active lifestyle, they don't have any ailment. So for them, it's because when you start thinking that you feel low, and you are craving for food, and because it's directly linked to our perception, right? When we look at the food, is visionary perceptions, then we just start craving smell, then taste of appetite. So the research and the studies revealed that we have to have healthy food, balanced food, simple food, unprocessed food. Processed food are packed in a packing, and lots of in freezers, in fridges, and then we are consuming without knowing that how much harmful effects of these unhealthy stuff are. So first of all, we have to think about the simple food, you know, uh, dry fruits, or simple, vegetables we can have. Then this nowadays the science revealed that intermittent fasting, the fasting, you should have fasting between one meal between another, because all the time we are having something, because it's a, again, it's a wrong narrative that you should have some bit by bit you are having, and then you feel good. Again, it's linked to your dopamine secretion. The best thing is you can have tea, coffee, without sugar, without uh, you know unhealthy stuff. then you can have liquid intake. But fasting should be there, at least 12 hours fasting, or 12 to 18 hours. When we go to bed, then early in the morning we feel craving for breakfast. Then, of course, when you have hard work and you are students, then you need some breakfast. Otherwise, when you are working in an office and then you think that you need energy, no, you don't need energy because you have stored lots of calories into your body, which can be consumed. And when we are in fasting, then all of the negative stuff, negative fat, unhelpful fat in our body, they are cells and they are being processed and they are utilized after being recycled in our body. When we are eating and then there is insulin resistance in our body, and everything we eat converted into sugar, carbohydrates, and then ultimately fat. There are lots of fat depositions in our body. Then we become weak, and then we all the time we tell a lie to ourselves. Oh, no, I'm eating healthy. I don't have unhealthy stuff. But you have to regularly check your weight. You have to regularly because nowadays devices are there. If you have smartphone or computer, you can find your BMI. What is that? Body mass index. Your age, your height, your weight. Then you can calculate. Then your BMI is, it will tell you what is your BMI. Are you underweight? Are you overweight? Are you obese? Then, if you are obese, obesity, and your fat is too much in your body, then you have to lose your weight accordingly. If you don't have any medical condition, if you don't have any psychological conditions, then if you are underweight, even then it's alarming situation. It's not healthy. Then you have to think to eat more and then to gain your weight up to that healthy level of body mass index. It is very simple. So these are the actions we have to take. Fasting is very important. Intermittent fasting, go through Google it, intermittent fasting. I have written it in it. Then you will come to know that what is that intermittent fasting. You have to fast because our body needs some rest. Our liver needs some rest. Our kidneys need some rest. What is that rest? When we eat less, we will move more. Because these, you know, extra kilocalories depositions inside of our body. When you go to the doctor will let you know that your fat is liver fatty. What is liver fatty? The fat depositions on the viscera, on your liver, on your body, tummy, back, everywhere. So the best thing is you need to lose weight. The very simple way to in order to lose your weight is not go, because the people they are just nowadays it's very trend to use medications and take tablets. I don't advise you or suggest any, because the best thing is fasting. When you early in the morning don't take any, you can have water or you can have tea, coffee, whatsoever you are, without sugar, but subject to medical condition or psychological conditions. I'm not advising. Then the right person is your doctor. You have to contact to your doctor if you have some medical condition. It's for healthy persons who are uh, just wanted to lead a happy and healthy life, is my point of view, and I'm doing on a daily basis, because I early in the morning I just have 2 3 glasses of water, empty stomach, and then you can have your tea or coffee without sugar, or it's about about your taste, but you have to minimize consumption of sugar and sugary drinks. Then you have to, because it's my style that I just, then I feel that I'm okay with liquid, with water, not with sugary drinks, but water and tea, coffee, less, milk. Or green tea is the best antioxidant you can have. But keep in mind that using sugar, 1 2 teaspoon, or even sugar free, these are not a healthy stuff. Then I break my fast at what time? At least 5 to 6 o'clock in the evening. It would be when I just last time when I just had my break fast during 5 or 4 o'clock. Then I just nuts and healthy stuff I just eat. And then during night time 12 hour, and then you have to count 12 if it is, if you stop eating say about 9 10 o'clock, then early in the morning 10 o'clock is 12 hours, and you have to count 12, at least 18 hours you have to fast. Then there is amazing and beneficial results, because then there will be ketogenesis in our body. That is simple way. Your extra fat or degenerative cells and mitochondria, they are converted into the packet of fat cells, and they are being recycled, and they are being used in our body to give you more energy, ketone bodies. Then you will see that within a couple of weeks or days, you will see a positive change in your behavior, positive change in your face, positive change in your mind. Because extra kilocalories, according to research and studies of fasting, it's really amazing. You can Google and you can find intermittent fasting, because it's not I'm saying, it's research based, study based. Things which are being delivered and being lectured, and the doctors and neuroscientists and even cardiovascular surgeon in America and here in England, we're talking about all this awareness about fasting. So you have to go for at least 18-hour fasting. Then you will see a fruitful and beneficial results. Then you can easily, within a couple of weeks or months, you will start losing your weight. Your body will be in a good shape. Your face will be in a good shape, because the negative stuff, negative toxins in our body in form of, which could lead to even depression. It could lead to fatty liver, our viscera, our tummy, all of the body fat comes into in a form of depositions, like ice in a ice box in fridge or freezer. There's a lot of ice. So this is fat is deposition is like ice into our body, viscera. So in this way you can lose your weight. But if it is motivation here, self motivation, as I have mentioned in my description, that the only person who can heal or harm you, who can treat you better, is yourself. Not even your doctor, not even your parents, not even your friends, not even your siblings, not even your well wisher. Try to be your healer, not to your harmer. What is a healer? That you are treating yourself in a respectable way. You are dealing with yourself in a positive and respectable way. So if you are a healer of yourself, what is a healer? Healer is not, it's not a something that somebody is going to heal you, or some magic. But magical things can happen when you do something in order to love and respect yourself. When you start loving and respecting yourself, then you will be a changed person. Then you can serve yourself better. Because the only person who can heal or harm you is you. Because I will let you know what is my uh, narrative. Neuro-Narrative Therapy by Dr. Najeeb Ahmad Rumi. That is scientifically based therapy, which is based on self-compassion, which is based on self-love, which is based on how you are going to give you importance, value. If you damn care about yourself, about your health, about your mind well-being, then believe in me, nobody can help you out. Not your colleagues, not your friends, not even your doctor, not even your therapist, not even your knowledge, because how much knowledgeable, not even your wealth, because health is directly linked to your wealth. Then compassion and love. I think, I believe strongly that the rich people are those who are rich in love, rich in self respect, self compassion. Then they reflect to reflect, to love and respect others. If you love and respect yourself, first you have to learn the meaning, the method of love, compassion, self empathy. Then, then you can, you, then you can get realize that what is love, what is compassion. When somebody is unable to understand the meanings of love, real meanings of love and respect, then you will be ignorant. Then you will be really, you will damn care, because neuro narrative therapy is, because as I have mentioned in my description of this talk, what is neuro narrative therapy? Because narrative is, everything is in our uh, because conscious mind, we are conscious, we are what is happening and what is in between preconscious and conscious mind. It is that we are talking, we are reading, we are working. This is our conscious mind. Preconscious mind is in our memories. And the major part of our uh, mind process is unconscious mind. In our unconscious mind, our biological need is there, our animal instinct is there, our anger is there, because that is working without our access. We don't have any access to our unconscious mind. Then in our unconscious mind, there is biological need. It, like in animal, there is biological need. When they are hungry, they go for having food. They consume food. They go for reproductions, mating, and reproductions. They don't have any sense, because this is in their biological part, portion of unconscious mind. Then they come animals or humans. They when they born, they come into this. There is a need for existence. They just try for food and try to consume food, and this is natural process They are being provided food by their mothers in animals, in humans, milking or whatsoever their source of consumption of utilization of food is. So in our unconscious mind, that's why it's neuro-narrative therapy, conscious mind, and preconscious and unconscious mind is because we don't have any access to ordinary people. They don't have any access to unconscious mind. Why we are angry sometimes, conscious mind let us know. Preconscious mind linked the dots with some things, with previous bitter or better experiences, then we got upset. Similarly, mental health issues are directly linked to majority of nowadays. It's very getting worse, mental health issues. So again, unconscious mind, chemical reactions, genetic makeup. There are multiple reasons, but it's in our unconscious mind. There is what is going on. Again, in unconscious mind, according to Dr. Freud's, that unconscious mind consisting of two parts: descriptive, where our thoughts and emotions are there, and uh, dynetics part, which I use the name a different divining part. It's very highly approached people. They can have access there, but not ordinary people. They don't have their access to their descriptive. Sorry, to their dynamic or divining unconscious mind. Divinic or that dynamic unconscious mind, according to Dr. Freud's, this is the portion where our instinct, our impulses, our desires, our thoughts, dreams are there, and they are in a very secret way. They are fighting with each other. They are quarreling with each other. They are going to interacting with each other in a very secretive way without our knowledge. So peak experiences happen with some wise people when they come to know, when they become enlightened. So what they do, all of the majority of the saints and the philosophers, they may have some access to that dynamic part of their unconscious mind. Then they changed their lifestyle. They start eating less, they go for fasting, they are in a state of trance, meditations. Again, everything is here. When they get it in touch with the reality of life, then they have balanced pattern of thoughts. Then they can have the control on their anger, food, because it's in unconscious mind, as I have mentioned. It's like in animals. Biological need is in not in our conscious mind. We start feeling hungry or angry because it's smell. It's psychological need, not biological need. We can survive it 2 3 days without eating, according to the researchers. Not I'm saying up to 3 months you can survive without having food. I'm not advising. I'm sharing, but it's really it's amazing because everything is here, unconscious mind and preconscious. The peak experience when happen with the selected and with the great saints and philosophers, then they may have control on their anger, on their sex, sex, you know, instinct, uh, impulses, then they can control. Then they go for fasting long. They can shape up their body, shape up their mind. Again, I use the term MBBS. Although this is the degree for medical doctor all over the world, they use MBBS. What is MBBS? It stands for Bachelor of, although it's not linked directly from M, but MB means Bachelor of Medicines, medicines first, and then bachelor in medicines. MB, Bachelor of Medicines, and Bachelor of Surgery. That's MBBS. So I have changed this MBBS by using this. I'm enjoying my morning coffee without sugar. So MBBS, as per my narrative, is M for mind, B for behavior. Again, I'm just going to link the dot link with we are what we eat and move. No, sorry, we food for thought and food for body. MBBS. This is a form of type of therapy which I used in my talking therapy in order to give some better understanding about this. To keep in mind when you just recall, it should be on your fingertips. M for mind, B for behavior, then B for body, and S for shipping. Have you got my point? M, mind, link with behavior, because we are what we think, the way we think, constructively or destructive. Mind, M, B, behavior, then B, body, S, shaping. How you can give your body and mind shaping? Again, through self control, self management, eating healthy stuff, fasting. You should know that it's not our biological need, it's our. Then you can reverse your age process. You can reverse your diabetes through fasting. But if you are on insulin dependent, or you have some medical conditions, I tell you again and again that then the right persons, I'm not advising. I'm just talking about the journal discussions. It's not advice. It's not, you know, something to be, but it's only healthy lifestyle changes, research based thing. But if you have some medical conditions or psychological conditions, mental health issues, then the right persons who can guide and help you, because I don't know what the real problems you are being faced, but it's a general talk about health and well-being, it's public awareness messages and public awareness stuff. So then you can link it to body, mind, and body. Sorry, mind, behavior, body shaping, through fasting, to self control, to self management. Because thought process, as I have mentioned, our mind is neuro, you know, narrative device, neuro-narrative device. Then you can build up a new narrative of your life. The meaning of life can be changed through your thoughts. Then wisdom you have to apply in your life, not only listening, observing, but as one of the great philosopher Rumi, what he said that wise words without wise action is falsehood. And try to be, and he said, I am the enemy of false images. Don't betray the trust of others. Don't betray the trust of yourself. Try to trust yourself. Try to love and respect yourself. This is narrative therapy. Then you can change the narrative, because in neurons, because it's everything is directly linked to our, because this is the head of the department. Your faculty, rational faculty of your whole body, of your mind, is your conscious mind. Rationality, rational faculty of all of your body is uh, your conscious mind. That is the rational figure. Rationality is nationality. When people ask what's your nationality, I say rational national. Rational nationality is your rationality, your thought process. So in this way, through good sense of humor, you can rewrite the meanings of a positive life. That is neuro-narrative therapy by Dr. Najeeb, by myself. Although it's new, but it's linked with science. I use the word science, sense, and soul as a whole because the dimensions of health includes, you may remember, what are those dimensions of health? Four dimensions. Number one, physical dimension of health. Number two, mind dimension, mental health dimension. Number three, social health dimension. Socially, how you are, in positions to uh, interact with the people. And then spiritual dimension of health. Spiritual dimension of health, according to World Health Organization, is very important. It's not linked to your any religion. It's not linked to any anything else. But it's your spiritual being because your soul is inside of your body, and the credit of that soul is that you are living organism. Your living body with and body without soul is what is that? It's dead body. So we are, you know, privileged as compared to other species, discovered species. Maybe after a few years we will come to know that there are aliens and other species and other, living organisms are for more. Maybe nobody knows. But right now, the wise, progressive species on this earth and this globe is human. So we have to think, we have to use our neurochemical reactions here through constructive thoughts, through protective thoughts, neuro-narrative therapy. We have to rewrite, we have to rethink if our neurons are under the influence of some chemical reaction, under the influence of mm, some impulses from our unconscious mind. I think we need to give benefit of doubts because past is not a place to live. Past is only the reference for making, not to repeat the bitter things in your life. This is the second portion, which the second part, because first part I have mentioned food for our body, which I have mentioned balanced food with intermittent fasting. It will reverse your, you know, um even cancer. The research shows if there are some cancer cells and you are fasting at least 18 hours, 20 hours, then it can reverse your, you know, toxins and carcinogenic cells. One of the research shows, and if you Google and you can find intermittent fasting, then you will come across that how much beneficial and significant benefits of fasting are. But seeing is believing, and believing is seeing. You have to go through it. You have to prove you yourself, because if it is theory, then who will come to, because I have proved, these are all self-evident based. This my theory, which is therapy. What is that? Neuro narrative therapy. Because neurons, then your conscious mind, preconscious, unconscious minds, then I have sum it up. So self-evident based is that I have studied myself. The first case study was myself. You have to read yourself. You have to have some access to your conscious, preconscious, and unconscious mind deliberately. Although it's very difficult, we don't have any access. But you have to keep a diary, healthy diary. You have to write why today you are upset, why you are getting irritated with the noise, with light, with the people, and your negative and reactive mind is in progress. Write it down. Then many things, because it's according to Freud, it's like our thought process is like an iceberg. What is iceberg? Iceberg is that in a water, the visible part is very small, and the hidden part is very large. So you think that it's the only the visible part is tip of that iceberg. Iceberg is, so conscious and preconscious mind are tip of that iceberg, thought process, or personality. So hidden part is unconscious mind. So all of these things are, because then it is conscious, preconscious, unconscious mind. Then there is ego, which is the rational faculty in our conscious mind, and then superego, which is directly linked to our morality, our religions, or whatsoever your beliefs are. And the major part is our in our unconscious mind is it that is based on impulses, sex, anger, food. That is totally an animal instinct, which is hidden in our it unconscious mind. So why we got upset, angry, hatred towards ourselves, self neglect, self and damn care about others, damn care about the consequences. That is coming from your unconscious mind. So my narrative, neuro-narrative therapy is based on that unconscious mind. You have to write it down in a diary, that what's going on, why it's going on, why you're upset. So try to ease yourself in order to get rid of disease. Try to be your doctor. I'm not talking about self medications, but this is self medication. When you have healthy food consumption, fasting, active lifestyle, then you can change the narrative. Neuro narrative therapy. Then you will come to know, oh, yes, now I have access to unconscious mind. I can have control on my thoughts. I can have control on my emotions. I can have, I can manage my anger. I through having balanced food, fasting, because everything major part of our thought is unconscious mind, which is coming from our unconscious mind. So in this way, in this therapy, it's very helpful therapy. When you start to know about the things, then it's very easy for you to connect the things, the consequences, and result by uh, linking with the dots. I'm giving you clues, research-based clues, research-based dots that you have to prove yourself. because you can prove for that purpose. You don't need any, knowledge. You don't need any qualification. You don't need any, but your positive mind, only positive thought. As I have mentioned, that we are what we think, the way we think. There are two ways of perception, of thinking about your point of view: positive, constructive point of view, negative or destructive point of view. Then there is a feeling when we feel good, and we have many, opportunities or options to select that what are the consequences of our decisions, pattern of thoughts in a positive, constructive way. And you have to change the narrative that is directly linked to your unconscious mind. So then you can change the narrative, you can control your emotions, you can write it down, you can be a changed person. Otherwise, you will be a chained person. Chain of lots of things you can name. Irrationality, that is not rational, that's animal instinct. You got upset, you got angry due to family traits, due to reasoning, because your mind is giving you negative reasons about that why the people they are bullying you there, although it's a bad thing. But what you can do is, what is your choice about yourself? Because I have mentioned in my previous lectures, previous talks, that try to explain your anger. What is that? What is going on into your mind? Instead of only being controlled by your unconscious mind, anger is there. That is animal instinct and impulses. You don't have control. Then you start shouting, screaming, fighting, making noise. That's why the rationality is, you have to you have to explain your anger instead of expressing your anger. Expressing is screaming, shouting, fighting, confrontational approach. We have to explain in a very constructive, in a very sound way, in a very calmness way. Then you can change the narrative. This is my therapy, neuro narrative therapy. Although it's boring, although it's but this, my dears viewers, this is ground reality. We have to respect ourselves with our strengths and weaknesses. I know what are my strengths. I know what are my weaknesses. But when I start thinking about helpful way, positive way, then I can change the narrative through positive narrative, constructive narrative, change into destructive, destructive narrative, convert it into helpful and constructive narrative. Thoughts therapies, you can do your therapy, you can be your therapist through this positive rationality, positive approach, positive pattern of thoughts. As I have mentioned, nobody will come to help you out. These are the clues. These are the this is one of the most important clue which I'm giving to you to lead a successful and happy life. Although resources, socioeconomical, facts are there, but try to be more meaningful. Try to lead a positive and helpful lifestyle. Then you can have a lots of avenues and your opened avenues, then one door is closed, then there are other doors open. Because when we are using our reactive mind, our biological needs and stuff coming from our unconscious mind, then we really, unfortunately, we wouldn't be in a positions to look at those opened avenues. Just beating our head and just shouting, screaming over the closed doors. Think with mindfulness. So my approach about neuro-narrative therapy is based on the open choices and avenues, because you are leading your life. You are the driving driver of your uh, vehicle of your life. You have the internal driving forces inside of you. It is in our unconscious mind. The rationality is that with conscious mind we have to dig into, we have to dig and get it on the surface what is going on, why we are disturbed, why we are angry, why we are, because obviously we feel that I'm angry due to these are the obvious causes. Find out the root cause. Then you can surface the problems which are lying in our unconscious mind. When you start helping yourself, then you would be in a better positions to help others. If you are unable to help yourself, then believe in me, you won't be in a positions to help others. Even you won't be, you are not skilled to advise or to suggest anyone who may have some problems. So try to get it realized. Try to get it, sorted out your problems through through your rationality of your mind. Rational part is in our conscious mind, in our ego, and if it is, because if our biological need overpower our rational part of our ego, then it could lead to serious consequences. It could lead to psychosis, that is severe mental health issues. Because people who may have mental health issues, God forbidden, they are in a miserable conditions because their unconscious mind impulses and chemical reactions are going to control their rational part. That's why they are in a irrational positions. They are talking, they have hallucinations, they damn care about themselves, or they are extra conscious about their health, like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, washing their hands, washing their cleanliness, extraordinary vigilant about this. That's abnormality, because optimistic level of health is very important. You have to make balance between your negative and positive thoughts, because human being, they are spiritual being. If God forbidden, if you have some mental health issues, then the right person who can help or guide you is your doctor, your registered medical doctor. Because people, they have some, because they people, they believe that they have some, possessing forces. They are like, they have, demons, they have evil forces, and they are under the spell of, under the influence of evil forces. Because scientifically, because although it's in some divine books, there are the god they have mentioned about the divine and evil forces. Because I tell you one thing, we can be a divine or devil, because it's inside of human being. Human can be a divine force, or human can be a devil or evil force. To try to be connected with divine forces inside of intra, I use the word IMF, intra motivational forces are divine forces, because God, if you are a believer, God is not the outer state of your mind. God is inner state of your mind. God is in your soul. When when you start thinking in a positive way, whatsoever your religious belief is, or you don't have any religion or religious belief, even then you can think about mindfulness. You can think in a positive, constructive way. That is spiritual health according to World Health Organizations. And similarly, at the same time, the devil and evil forces also are existing inside of our soul. This is open choice to be selected whether you wanted to be adherent or connected to divine forces or devil forces. Very simple way. The choice is yours, and choice is open. You must have healthy choices in life. You must have rationalities of your nationality here, your ego, based on self empathy, based on self compassion, based on self respect and self esteem. Then you can be a changed person. Then you will see the inner divine light inside of you. When you will close your eyes for mindfulness meditations, deep in, breathe in and breathe out, relax, sit back enough to avoid setback in your life. Sit back, close your eyes with mindfulness. Then your inner eye will be open. What is that inner eye? Is in your unconscious mind, that part of your unconscious mind where there is dynamic unconscious, divine unconscious mind is there. Then your insight, your inner eye will be open. Then you can have lots of avenue, lots of opportunities to avail. Then you use your mind, rational mind, because as I mentioned, human mind is like a garden, and our thoughts are like seeds. We can grow flowers or we can grow weeds. Take this is almost an hour. This is now I'm going to sum up my talk lectures. If you have any queries, you just write it down on my comments, or my email is there. My phone number, WhatsApp number is there. It's free of charges because I don't charge from the audience. Yes, I do charge from my potential clients who are based in London, face to face and online. I have my lectures and classes. So I do charge from them, but it's free for online who seek any emotional help and support and any kind of problem. We can have discussion. You can write it down in the comments, or you can share or describe or share my video if you like, and then keep in touch. And the message is take well care of yourself and people around you, and use your rational mind and reflect it. When you love, take well care of yourself. Okay, bye bye. Have a lovely day.